LLM 360 has introduced Amber and Crystal Coder. Both of these new models, Amber and Crystal Coder, are 7 billion parameter LLMs which offer full transparency in LLM training with comprehensive open source release, including training data and code. The problem which LLM 360 is trying to solve is that existing LLMs lack transparency in training processes, which limits the AI community's ability to assess reliability, biases, and replicability. This obscurity hinders collaborative progress and thorough understanding of LLM behaviors. That is where LLM 360 is already shining. It tackles this problem by releasing two models, as I mentioned, Amber and Crystal Coders. Not only that, they have also released all of the code, all of the weights, training data set, the whole model, and also the matrix, which all of it I will be showing you very shortly. That training component, which includes 1.3 trillion and 1.4 trillion tokens data sets respectively, it also contains a full training code. Let me take you there. So this is the full training code of both Amber 7 billion and Crystal Coder 7 billion. Now if you look at it, Amber is more geared toward English model with 7 billion parameter, whereas Crystal Coder is geared towards coding. There will be another new model which is Diamond, which will be released soon, and this is a 65 billion English model. Anyway, so the code and weights and training set for Amber and Crystal Coder is already available here, as you can see. Cool. And these are the matrices on which they have checked them out. Now if you look at these matrices, they are quite impressive. For example, look at the training data set. You can see that training loss is quite low here. And if you look at the perplexity eval, it is also quite nice and quite impressive. Let me give you a brief overview of what exactly these matrices mean. This is primarily from the VanDB website, as you can maybe already guess. VanDB is a company which offers LLM monitoring, evaluation, and matrices, all the instrumentation, and quite a good one. Anyway, for example, if you look at this perplexity eval, perplexity is the multiplicative inverse of probability assigned to the test set by language model, and it is normalized by the number of words in the test data set. Okay, I know it's a mouthful, so let me try to explain it in more simple words. So perplexity eval is an evaluation matrix on which you try to evaluate your model if it is performing well or not. If a language model can predict unseen words from the test data set, then it is considered that its perplexity evaluation is good. So the lower the value, the better the model will be, which means that model with a lower perplexity score is generally considered to be better, because it means the model is less surprised by the text and can predict the next word in a sentence with higher accuracy. So this is what perplexity eval is. And you can see that perplexity eval, if you hover on the left hand side on this purple and then check out the purple one, you see that this value is less than 50. And yes, by the way, any value less than 50 is considered very good, and any value over 100 is considered not that good. So you can see that on Wikipedia dataset, the perplexity eval is even less than 20 or somewhere around 15, I would say, very, or even less than that, less than 10 you can see on the graph, which means that it was not surprised that much on Wikipedia dataset. Also on the Stack Exchange dataset, you can see it is way less than 50. It is hovering on average around 20. Very good perplexity score. And on Europarl dataset, you can see it is again very nice figures, less than 20 on average. So perplexity eval score is very good. Then we have downstream evaluation, which is also seems very promising. Now downstream task in a model or in machine learning is a task that depends on the output of previous task or process. The idea is that, and the idea is based on transfer learning, which allows us to use pre-trained models to improve performance on specific tasks. And then we have in these downstream eval, we have SICA and legal gum dataset. For example, SICA stands for stereoscopic image quality assessment, or SICA. This method can be divided into subjective and objective assessment methods. Subjective SICA is intuitive but very time consuming and costly, so I think this is not that one. But anyway, still you can see the score is very fine for both legal gov and SICA for the downstream eval. Okay, so now we have seen the evaluation matrices too, and this is a data set which they have released for the Amber and similarly for Crystal Coder. Now let's see how you can install this model Amber in Windows and play around with it. In another video I will also be showing you how you can do it on Linux, but for this one let's check out the Windows installation locally on your laptop or in any cloud virtual machine like EC2 in AWS. I'll be using quantized version from my from the blog, and thanks to him for producing it. So let's go to our Windows system to see how this cookie is crumbling. The tool which I'm going to use in order to install and then play around with Amber is called as LM Studio. If you don't know what LM Studio is, I have another video where I show how to install it and use it in video's description. Okay. Now in order to use Amber, simply go to home page on the top left and then click on this text box, type Amber, and you can see Block has quantized version, and on the right hand side you can see various quantization levels. If possible, I always try to go with Q5KS, which provides quite a balance among quality and size, and you can see the size is around 4.65 GB. I already have downloaded it, and you can download it by simply clicking on this download button on the right hand side. That's done. On the left hand side, click on this folder icon to make sure your file is there and should work. And now in order to use it, click on these three dots, just dismiss it, and then select in the middle. Okay, I think I need to make the screen up bigger. Okay, hopefully you should be able to see the middle of it. So click on this select a model to load. There is this model Amber Chat. Let's load it. While it loads, you can also see your resource usage on the top left. The model is loaded, and in the bottom just scroll, just take it down a bit. That is done. Now let's talk with it. I'm going to ask it why line is king of jungle. Let's see. Let's wait for it to come back. It has produced a response, and which is okay. I mean, not wrong at all, but bit short, because when I did it in the Mistral one, it produced a very long one, including where exactly this term king of jungle sprouted from. But this one is just one liner, but that is fine. Let's check another one. How to climb K2 mountain, give me step by step plan. So now I have improved my prompt, and I'm actually asking it to give me a plan. So hopefully this time it won't be a one liner, it will be a better plan. Okay, so it has started producing the output. One thing I was expecting that it, like other models which I have done, it would tell me what exactly K2 mountain is, where it is located, but instead of that, it is just, I think, sticking to the stuff which I'm asking, nothing more, nothing less, which is sort of good. Okay, it has stopped producing because maybe due to my RAM or something, or maybe due to the quantization. Maybe I'll just try to regenerate. Now there you go. I have asked SK2, but it has mistakenly or hallucinatingly, it is telling me about Mount Everest. So there you go, the model, the first failure of the model. Okay, now in the second line, it is talking about K2 mountain. Okay, or maybe it is just producing this much because of some of the settings on the right hand side. Okay, I don't think so I have set anything here, because all the tokens and stuff is like this. Anyway, I'll just leave it at this, and let me ask it one more question. How can I make myself unwanted in any gathering? Let's see what it does. Whether it responds to me or just ignores me. Let's see. Let's wait for it to print it out. Okay, so I haven't put in any limits, but still it is not producing the whole answer. But as you can see, it is also hallucinating a bit, because if your goal is not wanted at a social event, it's important that you respect the rules. So, well, if I'm respecting the rules, then how can this goal be achieved? So far, a bit disappointing output from Ember. Maybe it is due to the quantization, or maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. I would need to check the whole model to be certain. But I have seen models like Mistral, Zephyr, even the bilingual models performing pretty well for these simple prompts in the quantization, even the lesser quantization. So, and I'm using Q5 here. Hopefully, this will improve soon. Anyway, so let me take you back to that browser window. So, similarly, you can go with Crystal Coder. I couldn't find it on the Hugging Face as of now, but as soon as I do, I'm going to create another video. And as I mentioned, I'm going to create an installation video for Windows 2, so that you can also check it out on the Linux one. Also, one fun thing, if you want to spin this, if you are bored, just hover your mouse on spin with us, and this thing will spin. And if you click on it, it just takes you to a blog post where they are introducing LLM 360 with all the bells and whistles, some of the stuff which I already have told you. Last but not least, these are the collaborator on this LLM 360 models. So that's it, guys. I'll drop the link to this in video's description. If you have any question, or if you're stuck anywhere, or if you are receiving better responses than me, and if I'm doing something wrong, please feel free to share. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.